All right, let's talk about building the future of AI for your business, and more importantly, doing it safely and securely. Today, we're diving into the Envin ecosystem, a framework that's all about securing your enterprise AI future.
So what is Anven? Well, it's a comprehensive AI ecosystem from TreeCapital Technologies, and the key word here is open weight. Now, what does that actually mean? It means the model's inner workings are transparent. You can see everything, which gives you complete control, unlike those closed-source black box systems where you just have to trust what's happening inside. It's built specifically to solve the headaches that enterprises face when they try to build with AI.
And that really brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? It's the one that so many companies are wrestling with right now. How do you take all the incredible power of generative AI and make it truly yours? How do you build something proprietary without compromising on security, giving up control of your data, or taking a hit on performance? So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll tackle that core dilemma every enterprise is facing. Then, we'll introduce the Anven ecosystem as the answer. After that, we'll walk through the whole AI lifecycle, from picking and training models to building smart apps, and finally, to deploying them with confidence. And we'll wrap it all up with what makes Anven so different. You know, for most companies, it feels like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. On one side, you've got these super powerful but really restrictive closed-source APIs. They can get expensive, and you're pretty much locked into one provider's way of doing things. On the other side, you've got the wide open world of open source. It gives you freedom, sure, but then you're on the hook for building and securing this massive, complex tech stack all by yourself. It's this constant, frustrating trade-off between power and control. And this is exactly where Anven comes into the picture. It's been designed from the ground up to solve this exact problem. It's not just another model, it's a complete ecosystem. The whole idea is to give you the best of both worlds, all the power of cutting-edge AI with absolute, total control over your entire environment. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Every great AI application has to start somewhere, and that's with the models. This is phase one, and it's all about picking the right foundation and then customizing it to do exactly what you need it to do.
Anven isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. Think of it more like a family of specialists. You've got these super efficient quantized models. They're like the sprinters of the group, incredibly fast and light on memory. Then you have lightweight models, perfect for running on a phone or other edge devices. And with Anven 1.1, you get multimodal models, which basically means they can see and understand images, not just text.
So, you've got your model. Now, how do you make it your model? Well, you've got two main options. Full fine-tuning is kind of the brute force method. You're tweaking every single part of the engine. It works, but man, it takes a ton of computing power. For most businesses, the smarter play is something called PEFT, or Parameter Efficient Fine-Tuning. Instead of changing everything, you're just making small, surgical adjustments. It's way more efficient.
And this is where things get really cool. Anven supports some really advanced PEFT methods. LoRa is your go-to for most standard jobs. RLLVR is a specialist for things like math and code. But QLoRa? Oh, QLoRa is an absolute game changer. It lets you fine-tune incredibly powerful models on hardware you can actually afford, even consumer-grade stuff. I mean, just think about that for a second. A small team can now get results that not long ago would have required a multi-million-dollar server farm. It totally changes the game. Okay, so we've picked our model, we've tuned it up, it's ready to go. Now what? Well, now we get to the fun part, building something really smart with it. We're moving into phase two, building intelligent applications.
And one of the key tools for that is a technique called RAG. You know how large language models can sometimes, well, just make stuff up? They call it hallucinating. RAG is the antidote to that. It's like giving your AI an open book test, but the book is your company's private, up-to-the-minute data. It forces the AI to check the facts before it gives an answer, making it way more reliable and relevant.
So how does this magic actually work? It's a pretty straightforward process, really. Anven works beautifully with tools like LangChain to make this happen. First, you feed it your company documents. Then, it creates what are called vector embeddings. That sounds complex, but it's really just turning your data into a special format the AI can search instantly. When a user asks a question, the system finds the most relevant piece of your data, adds it to the user's prompt, and then the model generates an answer based on those real facts. Simple, but incredibly powerful. Okay, our application is built. We're ready to launch, right? Whoa, not so fast. This next phase is absolutely critical, maybe the most important part of all for a serious business. It's all about making sure what you've built is reliable, secure, and ready for the real world. This is phase 3, deployment, and trust.
So how do you build that trust? You test it rigorously. Ambient has this incredible evaluation framework, and honestly, the best way to think about it is unit testing for AI. Any developers watching know exactly how vital unit testing is. It's what takes you from, I think it's working, to, I know it's working, and here's the data to prove it.
And this is what that looks like in the real world. You can take a fuzzy business goal like improve customer support and turn it into cold, hard numbers. Are we actually solving more problems automatically? Let's track the resolution rate. Are the answers any good? Let's measure a helpfulness score. Is it safe and reliable? Let's keep that toxicity rate near zero. This is all about data-driven quality control, not guesswork.
And speaking of trust, where does this all actually live? This is a huge deal for any enterprise. This quote really just nails it. It's all about data sovereignty, meeting regulations, and having absolute governance. The bottom line is your data never, ever has to leave your control.
And then gives you actual blueprints to make this a reality. It's not just talk. If you need a digital fortress completely air-gapped from the outside world, you use the VPC isolated pattern. If you need to guarantee you're always online, even if a data center goes down, you use a cross-region setup. And if you want to avoid getting locked into one cloud provider, there's a multi-cloud strategy for that. You get to pick the architecture that fits your needs. Now check this out. This smart architecture isn't just about security. It's about being smart with your money too. Because you control the whole environment, you can do clever things like using cheaper spare computing capacity for background tasks. And the savings can be, well, look at that number. Up to 90%. That's the kind of number that gets everyone's attention. This is where smart technology has a direct impact on the bottom line.
So let's bring this all home. Let's put a bow on it. What is the Anvin advantage? What's the big takeaway here? It really all boils down to one powerful idea: empowering you to truly own your AI future.
And it all rests on these 4 pillars. First, absolute governance. You have total control over your models, your data, your infrastructure. Second, unmatched flexibility. You get to choose the right tool for the job every time. Third, enterprise-grade security, designed from day one for data sovereignty. And finally, a true end-to-end ecosystem. It's a complete, unified stack that supports you from a simple idea all the way to a finished application.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. We all say it, our data is our most valuable asset. It's our secret sauce, our customer insights, our intellectual property. If that's really true, then why would you build the AI that uses that critical data on someone else's platform where you don't have total control?